Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for the 50th District State Representative seat.
Well, I'm Sara Walsh, and I'm running to serve as state representative for Missouri's 50th District because I love America and I love people. As a child, I had my bedroom filled with American flags, statues of Abraham Lincoln, Ronald Reagan, Mount Rushmore. I've always loved America. And I grew up poor right here in mid-Missouri. So we didn't have a lot, but my parents worked multiple jobs to make ends meet and taught me that the importance of hard work and encouraged me to dream big. And I knew at an early age that America is the land of opportunity. And it's opportunities that are offered by businesses like that the Chamber of Commerce represents that would allow me to fulfill those dreams. For my first minimum wage job, serving fried chicken at Moser's, to working at Maytag in Jefferson City, to a factory, to ultimately losing that job in a layoff, I really appreciate the opportunities that businesses have given me. So as I worked at different businesses in the mid-Missouri area, I learned that it's the importance of what these businesses really provide to the community. For instance, Central Bank. I've banked with Central Bank since I was 18 years old, and I love that small town feel in a bank that has grown throughout the community, throughout the years. I have done business with Shelter Insurance. They've covered me for 20 years as well. And I just love our businesses and what they do. They sponsor school activities and community activities and so many things. And so those opportunities that they provided, truly from work experiences to what they do in the communities, I just have a passion for and appreciation for all that they do. And so that as I see that positive attitude and work ethic on display at our businesses, I want to work hard for them in Jefferson City and for the people that work for those businesses. I love people, as I said. I'm also running to be a full-time representative, so when I'm not in Jefferson City, I'll be in the district, helping people, working with them, and working to find solutions.
Every year at the annual legislative reception, the Columbia Chamber releases an agenda and priority card that contains priorities voted on by our membership for the year. What are your priorities, and what do you want to accomplish?
Well, my priorities are mid-Missouri priorities. I want to work hard to invest in education to ensure that every child has the education that they need to ultimately live the American dream, and that our law enforcement officers for public safety, that we ensure that they have the resources that they need to stay safe while they keep us safe. And also investing, our mid-Missouri businesses, to work with our local businesses to ensure that we have jobs in our community, to create and ensure that we have a strong economy.
Of the issues the Chamber advocates on behalf of, there are 3 that have been the major focus for our membership: advocating for funding that will benefit the airport and new terminal construction, protecting state funding for the University of Missouri, and funding that would allow for the MU Research Reactor to expand education and training. Where do you stand on these 3 issues? And if you are supportive, how would you advocate to advance these priorities?
Well, the University of Missouri is the economic engine of Missouri. And so a strong University of Missouri is a strong community and is a strong local economy. So I will join the members of our local delegation to advocate for funding. Second, for transportation and the airport area, Senator Rowden, I know that he's got that process underway, and so I look forward to joining his efforts and to continuing funding and finding sources of funding for the research or for the terminal, and same thing for the research reactor as well, because that's going to bring more jobs into the community and is, again, continuing to ensure that we are doing good things that not only has impact here in Columbia and in the southern Boone part of the district, but throughout the state.
Tell us one thing the general public might not know about you.
Well, so I worked full-time through my undergraduate degree and my master's degree. So when what happened was again I grew up poor in rural mid-Missouri. There was we didn't have a lot growing up. I wore a lot of hand-me-downs from. It's funny because my grandmother, who actually just passed away this year at 101 years old, she lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And she would ship us care packages. And so in the late 80s, here I'm wearing these Pittsburgh Steelers, shirts and things like that. And you go into the Walmart in Eldon, Missouri, and folks are like, wow, are you Steelers fans? And, we're like, I don't know, It's just, free clothes. But so we really did, appreciate everything that she did. But growing up poor there, in rural Missouri, and so we had, as over time, we, again, like I said, my parents didn't have a whole lot to give us. I didn't have dental insurance until I got a job working at Maytag. The benefits that companies provide are so vital and so appreciated. However, when I worked for Maytag, what was amazing was so many companies, just like Maytag, even though, and it's, they have tuition assistance programs. So they will help with your tuition assistance and pay or reimburse you for those classes. So again, parents couldn't afford college. I didn't want to take out huge loans because then you've got that debt that you've got to pay off, and there's no guarantee of what's going to be in anyone's future. So being able to keep your debt low was always something that was a goal of mine. So taking classes while I worked for Maytag, I worked midnight shift and was rapidly promoted to quality control inspector. And so then I would take evening classes with Columbia College in Jefferson City, and then I would go into work on midnight shift, and I'd go home and sleep and repeat the whole process. So while I was doing that, I was starting the foundation for my college degree. Well, then after the layoff, I went and I was hired by Columbia College in Jefferson City, and then they have a program, and so does the University of Missouri and others, that will pay for your tuition. So I was able to work full-time while getting my education, and that same hard work ethic I am going to put forward, put to work for the people of Missouri. And so that was one thing and one kind of a background, so I can really feel like I relate to a lot of people. I know what it's like to struggle and work hard, but at the same time, I know what it's like to overcome, and how much you appreciate things when you really put your whole heart into them and appreciate and those wonderful opportunities that our employers offer. That is one thing that I want to work towards doing, is working with the area Chamber of Commerce in the district to put together a database of businesses that offer tuition assistance programs. So that way we can ensure that individuals who are looking for jobs, that here are places you can work and get your college paid for, and it's doable. And so I want to cheerlead people on because I've done it, and it's doable, and it is hard work, but people can definitely reach their dreams and dream big.
In closing, tell us why the voters should support you.
So, as I mentioned, I'm running to be a full-time representative, so when I'm not in Jefferson City, I will be in the district, very accessible to the people and to serving them and to listening to their ideas and to putting those into good solutions to work on the people's behalf. I have worked in all three sectors. I've worked for public, private, and nonprofit. I know what it's like to experience a factory layoff. I know how devastating that could be. That's why I want to work really hard in Jefferson City to ensure that we have jobs, that we can bring jobs into Missouri, and that at the same time we can also strengthen the jobs that are here and keep jobs here, because that impacts people's lives. And on the other hand, I've worked for nonprofits, and I've worked for the public sector as well. I worked for the state auditor's office to work to ensure that there's no fraud, waste, or abuse of your tax dollars. And so I feel like I've got a very broad background in all those sectors, so I can relate to so many people, and the district is broad and it's comprised of so many people of so many different backgrounds. So when I'm sitting down and looking at legislation and looking at different things to be able to do what is best for the people, I can look back to my own experiences and those around me, as well as listening to the people in the district, but I have firsthand experience that I can put to work on the people's behalf. So in addition to I also have a master's degree in public affairs from the University of Missouri here in town. I also have my undergraduate in business and marketing. So I'll put those to work for the people. And I work well with people of all types, working in all those three sectors for various employers. I've always gotten along real well. I've always left in good standing. I've always had a good rapport with people, regardless of what political affiliations they personally may agree with. We've always sat down at a table to get the work done, to get the job done. And you put your you've got your personal views and such, but then there's a job to be done. So you all come together to get it done. And I work really well at that. And so I know that I will work really well in the legislature to work with people to get things done of people with differing opinions. Also, with the other thing is that I have been, so the endorsements that I've been endorsed by the Missouri Cattlemen's Association. Agriculture is our #1 industry, and I want to fight for that. I've been endorsed by the Columbia Police Officers Association, our law enforcement. They put their lives on the line every day, and I want to ensure that they have the resources they need to stay safe while they keep us safe. I've been endorsed by the Missouri Right to Life. I believe that life is precious, and I will always fight for that. Also, I've been endorsed by the Missouri Corrections Officers Association. Both of my parents worked as corrections officers and are public servants. I've got a high degree of respect for them, and I want to work hard to ensure that they have what they need as they're working to serve us. And lastly, I'm supported by State Representative Caleb Jones, who is the former state representative for this seat, as well as our State Senator Caleb Rowden, as well as our former State Senator Kurt Schaefer, as well as our Southern District Commissioner Fred Perry, as well as the others. So I mean, I've got a strong our Ashland Mayor Jean Rohr. So I mean, just a lot of strong base of support, and I've been getting out in the district and working hard. And when I get to Jefferson City, August 8th, I ask for your vote, and I look forward to I'm trying to meet as many people as I can throughout the district, and to just share my passion for people, and to serve as a full-time representative on your behalf in Jefferson City. And I just look forward to your support on August 8th.